It was last year when Dad started to become weak and has expressed some discomfort in his chest. When they visited the doctor, it was discovered that Dad had some major blockage in his arteries that required immediate attention. Further diagnostic tests confirmed that stent procedure is no longer an option and he required a full open heart surgery. What was thought a moderate partial blockage turned out to be 90% blockage in one major artery and 80% on the other. Thus, our first miracle, as he was walking, living, breathing, with only 30% capacity of his arteries supplying blood to the heart and body. With much hesitation, Dad agreed to go through the knife as we beseech for God's mercy and grace.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment I wake up till I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
The actual heart surgery went well and was sent to recovery. We thought we already have our answered prayer until Dad's hemoglobin level dropped dangerously and he started to have labored breathing. He was sent to the ICU again to be intubated to help him breathe. Prayers were lifted up from blood families, friends, and church families, and he was able to overcome the first hurdle.
'Cause all my life you have been faithful. 'Cause all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Then after we thought the trial was over, he choked on a food that caused aspiration pneumonia. He was sedated and intubated again. As he was being weaned off the third intubation, he choked again on his own saliva. The stress on his body has caused a heart attack. He was revived and had to be intubated again for the fourth time. Calls were made to families to come. It was a stark reminder that our lives are fragile and that people can be taken away from us at any time. To see him so sedated with tubes and seemingly lifeless, we can't help but to ask why. He was so much alive at Mom's birthday. We definitely need a miracle.
I love your voice. You have led me through the fire in the darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God.
At this very dark, unsteady time, I have seen and heard Mom wept, cried, prayed, and sought God's face. We, his children, son-in-laws, grandchildren, prayed, fasted, and begged for God's mercy. His sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews prayed. Church families interceded. And in this dark, dark hour, a twinkling hope refused to go away. That is the light of God's promises. Psalm 23:13 said, "Yet I am confident I will see the Lord's goodness while I am here in the land of the living." And Mom held on to that word with all her might, regardless of how things may look like. We looked up and trusted the only one who can help.
Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered I give you everything. Oh, your goodness is running after, it's running after me.
The doctor suggested for Dad to have a tracheostomy after his 4th intubation. His sisters, Tita Nini and Tita Bing, who are both experienced nurses, agreed, so he can be weaned out of sedation. In just few hours of being weaned, we finally saw him awake. Weak and sometimes inaudible, but awake. So if he still chokes, then it's easy to suction it through the trach. We knew that the tunnel is coming to an end. The road to recovery was an uphill battle. No water, no food for so many days, despite being thirsty, parched, and hungry. Still, God's hand of mercy was on him. Dad was sent to the best rehab facility at Mount Holly instead of a far-flung LTAC. At the height of the COVID-19 pandemic crisis, Mom was able to stay with Dad at the rehab center as his cheerleader, caregiver, and even taskmaster. We celebrated every milestone, grateful for every step towards better health. At the end of his rehab, Dad was given a Star Award for persevering, persisting, and pushing through therapy. He came into the rehab weak. He left the rehab walking.
Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me.
God has graced us with a loving and supportive family. God has blessed us with awesome medical staff. God has gifted us with prayerful churchmates. God has given us the miracle of my dad's life. That is why we want to take the time to thank God. Thank you, O Lord Jesus Christ, for all the miracles we received. We love you, and indeed, you are a good God.
'Cause all my life you have been faithful. 'Cause all my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am made, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.